Let's soften our eyes and take a few breaths. Come into tune with your breath. Notice your chest rise as you inhale and as it falls away when you exhale. Let's take some nice deep breaths here. Congratulations for getting here. Sometimes it's hard to make the time, rushing around to get to your yoga mat. It's great to make time for yourself. My yoga quote for today is, take the time to make your soul happy. So you've both made the time, which is great. Today's practice is to help you become calm and connected, and that'll help you feel gratitude and joy. We'll finish off with a restorative Yoga Nidra. So we're going to be doing lots of stretching to relieve any stiffness that you may have and to boost your energy. Lots of movement of the spine to increase your blood flow and clear the lines of communication between your mind and your body. So just tuning in now. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice any energy you might be feeling in your hands and your connection with the earth, with your legs and your buttocks. As you inhale, drawing the energy up from the earth, up through your body, up through your spine, and breathing out all that doesn't serve you. Let's begin with a little bit of movement through our shoulders. Just rolling our shoulders from front to back. Relieving any tension that you might be feeling in your neck or your shoulders. And then rolling them from back to front. Just taking some nice deep breaths. And then bringing our hands up to cactus and bringing our elbows back, feeling a nice squeeze between the shoulder blades, and then bringing our arms forward again and coming back. Just with your breath, breathing in as you come forward and breathing out as you bring them back and squeezing the scapula. Let's go one more. And then bring your hands back down to your knees. We're going to go into a twist, bringing our right hand behind us and our left hand on our right knee, looking over the right shoulder. Let's take 4 deep breaths here. And then inhale, come back to the front and exhale to the other side. And 4 deep breaths. And then meeting back in the center again. We're going to place our right hand on the ground and stretch over the top with our left hand. And then go to the other side. Just going from side to side, stretching through our back and our arms and our shoulders. Let's go one more on each side. And then we're going to come into tabletop position. Having our knees nice and wide and our hands open pushing our palms down towards the mat. Do some movements for our spine with cat and cow. As you inhale, lift your chest and lift your gaze, having a nice curve in the lower part of your spine. And exhale, draw your navel up to your spine, lifting your spine up towards the ceiling and taking your gaze towards your feet. And inhale, raising the chest again. So continue on for 4 breaths. Stretching through the spine, opening up the little spaces between your vertebrae. So we're increasing the blood flow and getting a little bit of movement into the spine. And taking your knees wide and coming back, sitting back onto your buttocks and walking your hands forward into child's pose. And bring your forehead down to the mat. And let's take 4 deep breaths here. If you have a bolster, you can actually lay over the bolster as well. So your choice. We're taking 4 deep breaths here and opening up through the hands, feeling that nice stretch through the lower back and the shoulders. As you exhale, allow your forehead to come down to the mat. On the next inhalation, coming back up, bring your knees a little closer together, take your hands a little forward, and we're going to inhale, take our body forward into an upward dog with our knees still on the ground. And then we're going to exhale, slide our hands back to child's pose. And pause in child's pose. And then inhale, walk the hands slightly forward, come back up into upward dog. Continue on. We'll do 4 more of these. Just getting a little bit more movement into your spine, into your buttocks. Feeling the stretch through the front of your body when you're in upward dog, and feel the stretch in the back of the body when you're in child's pose. And then coming back to center. And we're going to go into downward dog. So we're going to curl our toes under, lift up through the hips, and bring our body into downward dog. And let's just take 4 breaths here, feeling your body coming back home into the mat and into downward dog. Nice stretch down the back of the legs and through the shoulders as you push your hips up towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch through the glutes and the tailbone. And then from here, we're going to bring our body forward into an upward dog. So you can actually have your knees on the ground or you can have your knees off, up to you. Let's go 4 of these. Just continue on with your breath. And then coming back to tabletop, just resting here for a couple of breaths. It's quite a big movement, the upward dog and downward dog. Moving your hips in a little circle. Just tuning back into your breath. And then from here, we're going to go back into our downward dog, coming towards the back of the mat so you've got plenty of room. And we're going to come into downward dog, and we're going to bend our left knee and bring the sole of our foot up towards the ceiling into three-legged dog. Just take a couple of breaths here. Lower the right heel down towards the mat, getting a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. And then as you inhale, we're going to take that left foot forward next to the left hand. You might need to help it a little bit. So we've got our left foot and left hand next to each other. We've got our right knee at the moment on the ground in lizard pose. You can stay here with the right knee on the ground, or you can lift the right knee up. And I'm going to stay here for 4 breaths. This one's great to really stretch through the hip area. So have 2 more breaths here, just nice and relaxed, tuning into that stretch. And then we're going to take that left foot back next to the right foot into a high plank. And then lower your body down to the ground. Have the tops of your feet on the mat, and inhale, lift up. And then exhale, we'll come back to tabletop, tuck our toes under. And we're going to come back up to downward dog. And this time we're going to bend our right knee and take our right foot, pushing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Allow the left heel to drop down towards the mat. Just take a couple of breaths here. Then we're going to look forward, and we're going to bring that right foot next to the right hand. So try and swing it through into lizard. Nice. You can bring your left knee down to the mat. So the right foot is next to the right hand. And you can have the left knee on the ground, or you can lift the left knee up. And we'll stay here for 4 breaths. Feeling that nice deep stretch through the right side, through the hips and the glutes. It's really good to help with any stiffness here. So 2 more breaths. And then we're going to take the right foot back next to the left foot into high plank. And then slowly lower the body down to the mat. And then inhale, lift up through the chest. And exhale, come back to tabletop. I'll do a couple of cat-cows here to flush out our spine and just catch our breath again. It's quite energetic, that little bit of lizard and 3-legged dogs. It's nice to tune back into our breath so we're not breathless. And from here, we're going to come up to standing. So come towards the back of the mat and have the left foot slightly turned out, and step forward with the right foot into warrior 1. We're going to inhale, lift our hands up, lift our chest and our gaze, bend the right knee. That's it. And lift up, reach up towards the ceiling as if you've got a beach ball in your hands, feeling that stretch through the left hip. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Nice and strong through the right thigh. And then we're going to take the right hand forward, left hand back into warrior 2. Taking 4 breaths here, really stretching through, taking the elbows back a little bit, feeling the stretch through the front of the chest and also through the shoulders. And then we're going to straighten our leg and take both hands down towards the right foot. And then bring both hands up behind you, clasp them behind you, and lift up as you inhale, and lift your hands up off your back into humble warrior. Take 4 breaths here. And then release your hands down to the mat. Now, if you have a block, you can place the block underneath your right hand. And we're going to go into triangle pose. So inhale, lift up the left hand and look up towards the left hand. That's it. So feeling that nice big twist in the upper back, stretching through the back of the right leg and stretching through the front of the chest. Take 2 more breaths here. And then release the left hand down to the ground. Inhale, slight bend in the right knee and come back up to standing. Bring your hands to heart center and then bring your feet together. Give your feet a little shake. Welcome, Deb. Now this time we're going to turn our right foot out slightly and step forward with our left foot, having our left heel aligned with our right arch, facing forward with the hips and the shoulders. Inhale, lift up through the hands, lift the chest and bend the left knee. And again, reach up like you've got a beach ball in your hand. So reaching up nice and tall, feeling the stretch through the right hip. Let's take 4 breaths here, nice and strong through the legs. And then take left hand forward, right hand back. And bring the hands towards the back. So you feel a squeeze through the shoulders, an opening through the chest, looking towards the left hand, nice and strong with the left thigh. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then lengthen out the left leg and bring both hands down towards the left foot. And then bring both hands behind your back, clasp them, and inhale, lift up through the chest. That's it. So you've got the left leg straight, you're lifting up into humble warrior. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Feeling the stretch through the back of the left leg and through the shoulders. And then release both hands down to the mat, just on the inside of the left foot. If you have a block, you can place that inside the left foot. And we're going to inhale, lift up the right hand and take your gaze with it. So nice stretch through the chest and twist through the upper back and stretch through the front of the left leg. Just take some nice deep breaths here. 2 more breaths. And then release the right hand down to the mat. Slight bend in the left leg. And inhale, come back up to standing and bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And then give your legs a little shake. Now, from here, we're going to go into Garland Pose. So this is the one where we can place either a towel or a mat, or if you have a bolster, just place it across your mat and put your heels on it. Gives you a little bit of support. And then we're going to bring our hands to heart center. And we're going to slowly, we'll have our feet nice and wide. We're going to slowly bring ourselves into a deep squat. So if you can only get to here, that's fine, if that's comfortable for you. If you can go lower, that's good too. Wherever you are, keep your chest up nice and tall. If you're in the low one, pushing your knees out with your elbows. And we're going to stay here for 4 breaths. So really opening up through the hips. We often get quite stiff through the hips. So 2 more breaths. And then placing your hands on the ground and lengthening out your legs. You can push away whatever you had on under your heels and coming into forward bend. Taking 4 breaths here. And then as you come up, inhale, slight bend in your knees, come back up to standing. Just stretching your arms nice and tall. Bring your hands back to your sides. And we're going to go from here into some balancing. So we're going to do a tree pose, slightly adapted to give us a little bit more stretch through the hip flexors. So if you need to have something close by to lean up against, you can. opening up your feet. We're going to start on our right foot. So just moving your hips in a circle and connecting with the right heel and the anchor point behind the big toe and the little toe. So you feel really nice and heavy on that right foot. Find a drishti point in front of you, and then the left foot, either have the toes next to the ground or bring the foot up next to the calf, or you can come up higher above the knee. Try not to have it next to the knee. So get yourself nice and comfortable, nice and balanced. And then bring your hands up to Anjali Mudra. That's it. And we'll take 4 breaths here. Just stilling our body down, calming our mind. One more breath. Nice. And then relax. Bring the foot back down to the ground. Well done, ladies. Give your feet a little shake. Well done, Gilda. You held that for a long time. Then we'll go into the left foot. So opening up the left toes and moving your hips in a circular direction, connecting with the anchor points, the 3 anchor points on the left foot. Find your drishti point to help you with your balance. And then we're going to lift up the right foot, either toe on the ground, foot next to your calf, or you can come higher up, wherever you feel comfortable with. Knee out to the side, hands up to Anjali Mudra. And we're going to take 4 nice, deep, slow breaths here. And one more breath. Good work. Okay, let it go. I think we're all a little bit wobbly on that side. That's okay. It's just how our body is today. From here, we're going to take our feet really wide on the mat, so lengthways on the mat. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms up, stretching through the front of the body and arching it back a little bit. And then exhale, bringing the hands down to the ground. You might like to bend your knees a little bit. Then we're going to heel toe our feet out a little wider. If you have your block there, you can place your hands on the block. You can have the block maybe on its length and bring your crown of your head onto the block. And we're going to stay here for 4 breaths. So just enjoying the inversion. Coming back to our intention today of moving our body, increasing our blood flow, bringing in gratitude and joy. Let the crown of your head fall heavy towards the earth. Enjoying the inversion. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, lift up through your spine, just stretching your spine. And then heel toe your feet a little closer together. And then coming down to the mat. So to come down onto our backs. And we're going to start off with an Apanasana. So laying down on our back and hugging our knees up to our chest. Just releasing any tension in our lower back. Rolling our feet, our knees around in a circle one way and then the other. Then placing our feet on the ground with our knees bent, our arms out to the side, straight out from our shoulders, dropping our knees to the left, but looking to the right. Let's take 4 breaths here and notice that nice stretch through the right side of the body. And then inhale, bring your knees to center. And exhale, drop your knees towards the right and look towards the left. And notice the stretch through the left side of the body. And just checking in with your body, noticing how you're feeling. You might feel a few little corrections in your spine. Notice the stretch through the left hip area. And then bringing the knees back to center and your head back to center. And from here, we're going to go a little more with a stretch, lifting up the left foot and bringing the left leg across the front of the right leg. And then we're going to reach forward and draw that left leg towards your chest. You can actually draw the left leg in, or you can bring your hands through the gap and hold on to the right thigh or the right shin. Bring your head back down to the mat. Just taking 4 breaths here. This is a reverse pigeon. Really good for releasing the glutes and helping with any stiffness in the lower back area. So this one's for you, Elsa. But we all benefit by it. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then release your hands. Allow the right foot to go down to the mat and swap your legs over. So lifting up the right leg across the front of the left leg, and then draw that right thigh towards you. Bring your head and your back down to the mat. Just taking 4 breaths here and enjoying that deep stretch on the right side. And when you've had your 4 breaths, release your hands, allow your left foot and then your right foot to come back down to the mat. Keeping your legs bent, placing the palms of your hands on the mat and drawing your heels towards your buttocks. We're going to inhale and lift up through the hips, coming up into a bridge pose. You can leave your hands as they are, palms down, or you can bring them underneath you and clasp them. And then draw your shoulders a little closer together and really lifting up as high as you can, squeezing through the buttocks, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, bringing your chest up towards your chin, feeling really strong through the thighs, deep stretch through the shoulders and also lower back and glutes. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And as you exhale on the 4th breath, slowly release your hands and lower your spine down to the mat. And then hug your knees up to your chest. So we rinse out that back bend we just did with a little bit of a forward bend. And just rolling the knees around in a little circle. And then from here, we're going to do our legs up. So you might like to go into shoulder stand or have your legs up a wall or up next to a bed or a door, whatever's in your room. And we're going to stay here for 10 breaths. Giving your ankles a little bit of a twirl around, give your feet a little shake. Stimulating our lymphatic system. You might like to take your feet out wide. And bring the soles of the feet together with your knees out wide. And if you've got your legs up the wall, you might like to bring them up straight again. If you're in shoulder stand, you might like to drop your feet over your head towards the floor behind your head into plow pose. Stretching out through the upper spine. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then on your next inhalation, slowly allowing your spine to come back down to the mat. And then bending your knees and reaching through to your feet, either grabbing your ankles or your shins or the outside of your feet. And then take the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling into happy baby pose. So this is a great one to stretch out. So your knees should be nice and bent here and the lower back nice and flat on the ground. So you can kind of push your elbows towards your shins, pushing your knees out a little wider. So nice flat lower back on the mat. That's it. So you don't have to stretch out and have straight legs. You can have bent legs. That's fine on this one. Just as long as your lower back feels nice and flat on the floor. You can move around in a circle, rock from side to side, whatever feels good on your back. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to release our hands from our feet and bring your legs down to the mat. And we're going to come into corpse pose for our Savasana. So getting yourself really comfortable, you might like to put a bolster underneath your knees to support your lower back, or a cushion or a blanket, whatever you have. If you can put a blanket over your head if you like, an eye pillow on your eyes if you wish, or a blanket over your body to hold in all the beautiful energy and heat that you build up in your yoga practice. That's it. And just really relax into the position, preparing you for your Yoga Nidra. Making yourself really comfortable. Take 3 deep, relaxing breaths, relaxing your body. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to the body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your breath, your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. And repeat your intention for your practice 3 times through feeling. So it might be gratitude and joy. And rotate your consciousness around your body, starting with your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, Check your awareness that you're still awake and rotate your consciousness around the left side of your body, starting with your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body, heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole of your spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Awaken the feeling of warmth within your body. Your whole body is warm. Your arms are warm. Your legs are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Your whole body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Your whole body is cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes and imagine the following objects as they are named. A turtle, a horse, a waterfall, the sound of the rain, a rainbow, the full moon over the water, a beautiful sunrise, a beautiful garden, a red rose, a setting sun, a clear blue sky. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and the surrounds, the floor, the ceiling, the walls and windows, the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Moving your fingers and toes, stretching out your hands and your feet, stretching out your body and rolling to one side. Take a couple of breaths there. And then when you're ready, come to a comfortable seated position. So our yoga quote again today is take the time to make your soul happy. So we're coming up to Easter, so we'll have lots of time. Let's bring our hands together and bring them up to our forehead for kind thoughts, and to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you for your beautiful practice today, ladies. How's everybody feeling?
Great. Thank you, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fantastic.